You're in São Paulo. I'm in New York. It's my pleasure to be with Luisa Strina today. We're going to speak a little bit of everyone. Everybody knows Luisa as one of the most important art dealers and gallery owners in Brazil and Latin America. But today we're going to speak a little bit about your side as a collector. So Luisa, just start by you telling me, how did you start to get interested in the arts? I know you were an artist for a moment, and also that you had other collectors in your family. So how did you get first interested in art?
Well, I was interested in art since I was a very young girl. I loved to see all the magazines and books about art. And then when I was 16, 17, I started to buy small pieces. I didn't have much money. It was not a collection. I bought because I like it. I like it to have these pieces around me. And what more? What did you ask?
No, I guess it's the interesting question. What came first, the chicken or the egg, or the gallery, or the...
Yes. And then I studied to be an artist, but I was not an artist. So I studied at the Escola Brasil. Then Baravelli, Fajardo, Rezende, and Nasser, the artists, they were the owners of the school. They asked me to sell their works. So that's how I started, just doing privately and organizing some shows for them in museums in São Paulo.
Okay. And then that's how you started also to collect more. Can you remember some of the first pieces you bought? Or the first piece I bought, it was supposed for me not to buy anything more, because it was in an auction. I was very young, and the next day some people called me and said, "You did a terrible deal, because you paid a lot of money. It was a print by, I forgot his name, by Livio Abramo, which was a very important engraver in Brazil. He said, come to my studio and I'll show you much more better things and cheaper." And then besides that, I took the work to be framed. And the guy broke, not broke the frame. He ripped the print. He damaged
the print and tried to rewrite again the signature. So, it was the worst things that happened.
The first acquisition was a disaster completely.
A disaster, yeah. It was, for me, it was to never buy anything more again.
I think that happens with a lot of collectors. That there's the famous learning curve. No, you have to learn a lot of things before.
Yes.
Yeah, but so then you start to also buy the people you were showing, like you mentioned the artists around the Escola Brasil. There was a famous school in São Paulo that you attended in the 70s. José Rezende, Baravelli, and Frederico Nasser. Wesley Ducli. So were you also buying the works of these artists and as a collector then?
Yes, never as a collector. I tell you, it was not to make a collection. It was to be around good art, art that I liked, And then when I opened the gallery, I started to buy mostly for the gallery. And I bought a lot of things from them. And as I didn't sell well, I kept them.
And have you ever shown your collection publicly? I remember there was a show many years ago at MASP.
Yes, when my gallery was 20 years old, I had a show at the MASP in São Paulo. And it was, I don't remember who curated it, but I think it was myself. I don't know. I don't remember.
Has your collection changed much since that show that was what, like 25 years ago or 30 years ago?
Yes, yes.
Now?
I think it's became much more, how we say, not, I don't know how to express, because more severe.
Okay.
More
cohesive, with more discipline and cohesion and.
Yes. Then I started from the last 20 years. I start to select good pieces for my collection. Mm-hmm. You know.
So there was not.
And to buy pieces that was connected with what I had.
Mm-hmm. So the last 20 years you treated it more as a collection and less as just things that make.
Yes, but never thinking as a collection. You know, just I repeat, just to have good works around me.
Okay, well, let's hope we have the chance to do a nice to have a nice public viewing of your collection in the future. I want to share the screen and so we can look at some of the works. Just very briefly, I know Antonio Dias was a very important artist for your gallery and also for you. If you want to say a few words just about this work that we're looking at.
Well, Antonio was a very important artist for me. We worked for many, many years. And this is about his series in the 70s. About the space mm-hmm. and the time.
Mm-hmm. Of course, Cildo, we are presenting your gallery at Diálogos. Thanks for participating. It's a big honor for el Museo del Barrio to be able to show you your gallery. And Cildo also became like a signature artist of your program because I think you represent him since 1981, the first show.
Yes.
So I think it was in 1981, right? So it's over almost 40 years, virtually 40 years of representation.
Yes.
And these are examples of the works by Cildo that you have in your collection.
That's Fernanda Gomes.
Yeah, do you want to say something about Fernanda's work?
Fernanda, I like her work very much. She deals with very old pieces of papers and wood and the leftovers, and that's how it's important because she shows the beauty of the things that nobody pays attention to.
Yeah, I think what's really fascinating is that we started with Antonio and then we moved into Cildo and now Fernanda, but you really took the shift to the next generation, right? So you started to work with people that were very close to you. And then, of course, I think Cildo and Antonio were very important as to bring this generation from other parts of the country, artists in Rio. And then Fernanda, I think it's the next generation, right?
Right.
But this is another artist, Gabriel Orozco. This is not someone you ever represented.
But I like him very much. I like him. I adore his work, and I have many pieces.
Yeah. Do you have this piece in your house?
Yes, in my house.
Okay. Jorge Maki, I think that's also very much a signature artist of your program, of your roster. You've been working for a long time. I think you gave Jorge one of his first shows in Brazil, and then he became a very important Argentinian-Brazilian artist, showing between Argentina and Brazil, and of course abroad. Do you want to say something about Jorge?
I like him very much also. He deals with the empty spaces. And Ouro Preto, this piece is special. It was made because of the city of Ouro Preto. And yeah.
Okay, Leo Nilsson, you showed a lot of artists from the generation of the 80s, and amongst them Leo Nilsson.
Yes. This piece is about, it's about I forgot the name of the
it's the fisherman.
It's the fisherman of words. And that's a special piece for the psychiatrists. All of them, they like it very much. And also this, it's Leo Nilsson is very poetic art, it's very intimated. And this is a small embroidery that he made in the beginning of the 90s.
That's very beautiful. Pedaço da cidade é o caminho para sua casa. A piece of the city is the way to your house. Very beautiful. You were close to Leo Nilsson personally as well, right? He was
yes, he was a good friend.
Yes.
Yeah.
So also, just moving forward into different generations, I think it's very important also all the work you did with Marepe. And I think I really love these very early pieces by Marepe where he was sort of mocking up those street vendors' stands or camelos.
Yeah.
You were very brave. You were collecting these works in the 90s. I don't think they were much interested for those works, right?
No, people hated because there was a dead rat and some, and some animals, dead animals, and people hated that. That's why I kept it in my house hidden.
Yes, yes. And this is the poison stand.
Yeah.
This is one of the embutidos.
This is a maquette from the piece that he made with 3 meters by 3 meters. It's a house that even he wanted to make a production and sell it to people because it was possible to live in it.
Mm-hmm.
That's another piece by him. It's a cachaça, which is a Brazilian drink. And in this pneumatic rose.
Mira Schendel, that's another artist that I think you really love. Have you ever shown her work in the gallery? Did you work together?
Oh yes, I worked with her many years. We did many works, many shows, and she's magical. For me, she's amazing. She does with the words. She makes a poetry with the painting mixed with the words.
Very nice. Tunga, that's another very important artist to you, I would say, right?
Yes, this is a jewel by Mrs. Madame de Sade.
Madame de Sade.
Madame de Sade. Yes.
One of the braids,
One of the braids, a beautiful one. That's Valtercio.
You showed that very early too, no? In the 70s.
Very early, yes. Yeah. I don't know this Ligia Clark. I never worked with her, but I always like her so much. Ligia Papi, she works with me. She's amazing also, and that's.
But then I want to, just bring another. I know this is a big passion of yours. It's Brazilian mid-century furniture, right?
Right.
So this is Lina Bos. When did you start? Where does this passion come from?
I always liked her Brazilian furniture by books and magazines that I read. But I started buying really 30 years ago, mainly when I bought this apartment, which is very, very big, and I need lots of furniture. So it started, and then in a moment, there was enough furniture here. And that's what I said, when you don't have space anymore in your house and you continue to buy, then you're a collector. And so I have many pieces in storage because I continue to buy, and it's fascinated by this kind of thing.
I remember one time I went to your house, and this is, I mean, of course, this is one of the most beautiful pieces by Zanini Caldas, not the Namoradeira.
Yes.
What's a Namoradeira, Luisa?
Namoradeira, it's a piece that you sit one by one side, and you can, it's easier to kiss.
Yeah, that's so brilliant. But I remember you showed me this. I mean, I saw this. I love this.
No, that's my favorite chair, you know.
And I asked you, who is this? And what was your answer?
This, it's made by, I heard it's from Pau Brasil. I'm not sure, because Pau Brasil is not so big, you know. And this was made by the rain, the lace of the chair is made by the water in the time.
So beautiful, yeah.
And the feet are from the same tree.
Yeah, and
it's a known artist who did it.
Yeah, you told me. I asked you whose work is this, and you said Brazilian people. That was your answer to me.
This I saw in my cousin's house. And I said I wanted it, and he said no. And then I asked him so much that he sold it to me.
So there's also this idea that furniture becomes almost like sculpture, right? It's not about comfort so much. It's not about the body, but it's really becomes sculpture. I think with some of the Tenreiro's works, we have this as well, right?
Yes, none of them is comfortable.
Yes.
And my psychiatrist says that I should sell off all of them and buy from IKEA. Kia. Yeah. Because they're much more comfortable. It's true. Lina Bard is not comfortable, her chairs. Not Tenreiro, not even, well, they're sculptures, really.
Yeah, they're sculptures, correct, yeah. Luisa, I have some other questions. So when you started to look at art, were there collectors who were important to you then? I know you influenced a lot of collectors through your gallery, but are you influenced by collectors too?
At that time.
Yeah.
It was easy. It was difficult because we had many big collectors from the concrete and from other arts, but not from contemporary art when I started. So I don't remember any collection at that time that would influence me. I had more influences, not influences, but a collection in Brazil that I like so much is from Susana and Ricardo Steinbruck. I think it's the most perfect one. It starts in the concrete and goes up to contemporary art now. And it's very intimate, it's personal, and it's emotional. I like this kind of collection. And recently I went to Glenstone near Washington, collection by Mitch and Emily Reyes. They have a fantastic collection, huge. You know, they have they buy in depth. They have 50 or 60 Louis Bourgeois. They have lots of Onkawara. They have many Latin Americans and mainly Brazilian ones. They came to São Paulo.
They have like Mirachendo,
Lijapapi. There's a room of Lijapapi, which is like a sanctuary. It's beautiful. And they bought lots of Cildos, which are not installed yet, but it will be. And I like the way they do it. You know, they have empty spaces in the buildings. It's a space to go there and stay 2 or 3 days. It's like in Otim, also the big collection that I love it.
Yeah, I mean, we were collaborating together a lot.
Exactly, yes.
Luisa, what is a piece of advice you would give for young collectors?
Collectors?
Young ones.
Well, I'll say don't buy by impulse, but that's what I do sometimes. You know, and
that's compulsion is such a strong element in collecting.
But they should go to good galleries. I always think that it's more difficult to make an error going to a good gallery than to a bad gallery. Mm-hmm. You have to study and see the history of the artists, mm-hmm. and what they are doing and why they are doing. It's very difficult. It's not like going, oh, I like this and that's and then buy it. You know, I think to be a collector is much more than that, and see what this work has to do with the rest of what I have. Mm-hmm. I think it has to be a meaning.
Meaning. Yeah. Okay, yeah. Yeah. Some line, no, some common.
Exactly.
Another quick question: is there a work that you regret of not having bought?
Yes, many. But I was thinking of another one that I didn't buy.
Yeah.
Because I was late. You know, it was in a fair.
Uh-huh.
And it was a work by oh my God, Calandré, mm-hmm. in Máximo Menini's gallery, mm-hmm. and I was five minutes late.
Yeah, I think this
was the most amazing piece that I wanted, and he sold it 10 minutes before, and is here up to now.
I think that's another good advice for young collectors: as hurry up, no?
Exactly.
Go up on time. But what about the Marcel Duchamp?
Yes, the Marcel Duchamp also. The Marcel Duchamp, it was amazing because it was offered to a Brazilian collector by her. And how do you know about that?
Oh, you told me once that you were offered this and you didn't buy it. So maybe if you can tell us why.
I didn't buy. And it was offered from her to a Brazilian collector, and he offered me, but there was a piece missing. Mm-hmm. That's why I didn't buy it. And I don't know, but it was a magnificent one. The other day I saw it.
Oh, yeah.
In a show.
Luisa, final question along the same lines. What was the last piece you bought?
I just bought a beautiful drawing by Cildo Meireles.
Oh, you did?
Yes, in an auction the other day, 2 days or 3 days ago.
Right.
It just arrived.
Wonderful. Luisa, thank you so much. That was so great. It was such a pleasure to...
It was my pleasure. It's always a pleasure to talk to you, you know.
Same I hope to see you in real life fairly soon in São Paulo.
Exactly. We'll meet again. One day.
Whether in New York or in São Paulo. Thank you so much, Luisa.
Thank you.